Thunder's Mouth Theatre presents Season 6 of Am I Old Yet? A coming-of-age story with a difference, in which the central character is a woman in her late 70s coming to terms with her transition into so-called old age as she discovers that perhaps she also has magical superpowers. This is the bumper edition, all 8 episodes in one place for those of you who enjoy binging. Enjoy. It's a pleasant summer's afternoon in southwest London, and Helen has arrived at her favourite local cafe, where she is greeted by her young Scottish friend Renee, who's working at the cafe during the school holidays.
Here's your coffee, Mrs. D. Sorry it took so long.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, Renee, not a problem. How's your Auntie Jean?
Oh, she's good, thanks.
And how about school?
Still there. 2 weeks ago. And then I'm free!
Free! Yay! Until next term, eh?
Yeah. Oh, I almost forgot, Mrs. D. Did you get in touch with those people?
What people?
The ones that were looking for you. The women and the child. They were asking for you a couple of weeks ago, and I said you'd probably be in here Saturday morning with your regular, single, short, skinny, flat white. Got this funny accent.
Funnier than yours, you mean?
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean it like that. Probably not. So did you see them?
No, not at all. Any idea what they wanted? Did they leave a name? Phone number?
No, the woman just said she needed to contact you urgently because you're chosen. The chosen one!
Oh, one of those, eh? No, Renee. That's just some scammers trying to persuade me I've won something so that they can get my bank details.
Oh, you think so? Quite nice. Hey, isn't the chosen one always a teenager? Why didn't she offer it to me? Whatever it was. If she's a scammer, wouldn't she just take any idiot who would fall for
And
it?
are you such an idiot?
Possibly. Auntie Jean thinks I am.
Yeah, but that's because you stay out all night with dodgy schoolmates without asking her permission.
Hey.
And lend them your good jacket, which you never got back.
Fair dues. But I only ever did it once. I'm a quick learner. Oh, hey, that's her over there, Mrs. D. See the woman in the blue coat with the young kid? Shall I bring her over? Do you want to make a quick exit? Or as I say, a quexit?
Oh.
You can just go out the back if you like.
No, I'll see what she has to say for herself. Could be a bit of fun.
Okay, I'll leave you to it. Here she comes. I better get back to work then.
I just don't believe a word you're saying. Why on earth would you try to sell me such nonsense?
It's not nonsense. I promise you, Mrs. Doherty.
Well, it sure sounds like it to me. The chosen one, indeed. As if this was some sort of superhero fantasy movie or a religious cult.
But it's not. I know. It sounds fantastical. Believe me, I took some persuading. But the fact is, you are the only one who can do this. You have been chosen to save the planet.
By whom? Who chose me? Who told you this? And who are you?
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did not introduce myself.
Mother,
My name is Dio.
she's Greek, you know. We call her Dio.
Oh, and you? What's your name, young lady?
She is
They
Persephone.
call me Sefi. You can call me Sefi.
Oh, yes, we call her Sephi. She's Greek too.
Well, that makes sense. So, Dio and Sephi, who sent you? Who's behind all this nonsense?
No one is behind us. It's just us. We know you are the chosen one. The only one who can
Oh,
do this.
dear sweetheart, I hate to disappoint you, but there is no way I am anything special enough. And look at me, I'm an old woman. In all the superhero stories, the chosen one is always a child or a teenager. It's far more likely to be you than me. Why don't you step up and take it on? I'm sure you'd make an excellently wonderful chosen one.
I am.
What?
Chosen. I was chosen to find you. And I did. And here you are. It's got nothing to do with age. It's just you. You are the only one. The chosen one.
Oh, no, I don't buy it. Oh, look, you seem like nice, decent people, but I just don't buy it.
But we're not selling anything. We don't want money, we don't want anything. We just want you to know that you can do this. And please, please, Mrs. Docherty, you must do this.
But do what? I have no special talents, no magic powers. I'm a very ordinary old woman, 2 years short of 80. I'm a mother and a grandmother. I help people to edit books about nature, occasionally these days. And I write silly little poems. Do you want me to rhyme the planet back to health? I would if I could, believe you me.
We don't know how you will do it. All we know is if you agree, it will happen. Because you are the chosen one.
Janie, all I'm saying is what they told me. I'm supposed to be the chosen one who will save the planet, end the climate crisis, clean off all the pollution, and don't bother telling me it sounds daft, because that's exactly what I said.
Well, maybe you could start by blowing a huge puff of your magic breath and blast all the plastic off the planet and send it to some remote meteor in outer space.
Oh, you're trying to tell me I'm nothing but an old windbag.
Not at all. I was just making a joke.
I know, gosh. Oh, well, it's worth a try, isn't it? Hang on a sec. I'll just open the window. All right, here we go. I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll... What? Oh. That's odd.
What's odd, Mom?
Hang on. I'm going to do it again.
What is it, Mom?
Here we
what
go.
Just happened?
Big, deep breath. Oh, my Lord.
Come on, Mum. Tell me what just happened.
Oh,
Did all the plastic in your area just suddenly leap off the ground and blow up into the sky?
yes.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding, Janie. That's exactly what happened. It's... I can still see it swirling up. Look. You can probably see it from where you are. Are you looking out the window?
Oh, all right. I'll play along. Here we go. I'm going out the back door. Oh my goodness. Oh, goodness me. There is something up there. How did that happen?
I told you. I blew it up there.
Oh, but really, Mum, you saw it happen, didn't you? So what is it? Some sort of tornado?
Yes, it is, Janie. And it happened just now when I took a big deep breath and blew. And I pretended that I was blowing all the rubbish off the ground from the back garden. And you know how it all collects in the corners and stuff. And out on the pavement, and it just lifted up. And it was flying up in the air and collecting into a bundle and then shooting up like you're seeing it. Janie, maybe I am the chosen one,
Oh, dear,
really.
Look, Mum, I'm coming over. Don't go anywhere. I'll bring coffees and some flowers. I think you need them.
Believe you me, I'm not going anywhere, not with this power. Not until I figure out what I'm going to do with it.
Oh, Mum, I go away for 5 days and you cook up this story.
I promise you, that's exactly what they did, darling. I can't account for it.
So you're saying it's as if the flowers were asking you to pick them? Mum, that's just daft. Now tell me again exactly what happened. I want all the details.
Right then, let me try again. Now this is exactly what happened. I went out to the back garden to pick a nice bunch of flowers for Mom to take over to her because she was acting a bit odd. She seemed to believe this story that she'd been told by the people at the cheese shop cafe, that she'd been chosen to save the planet, Just so unlike her to fall for something like that. And then, as I was walking across the lawn, I noticed that there were certain flowers that bent their heads towards me as I approached them.
But only certain flowers, such as?
Well, at first it was the wildflowers in the wildflower meadow patch by the fruit trees. But when I walked past them, they just started waggling.
Waggling, Mum?
Yes, I promise you, Susie, I'm not going mad. There was no wind. It was totally still. I was heading for the roses down by the pond, but as I walked past the wildflowers, they started waggling, waving. When I stopped, they would go still, and when I moved on, they started again, more of them. I really saw it. And then when I approached them with the shears, they would bend towards me and stay perfectly still, as if they were waiting for me to snip them, and that's what happened all around the garden. There were different flowers beckoning me and asking me to take them to Mum's.
Oh, my goodness. So do you think there's something in it?
In what?
Something in this thing, you know, that the people that Gran met at the cafe, the ones who said the planet had chosen her to save it.
Oh, but it's not the planet that needs saving, darling. You understand that. It's us. We're the ones who are going to suffer. Humans. The planet'll be fine. It will spring back when we're gone. Get on with whatever it does.
Oh, yes, I do. I understand that, but that's not the way to get people involved in doing something. They have to see how it benefits them.
Well, exactly. The planet's not asking for it to be saved. It's asking us to save ourselves. And your grandmother has been chosen to make sure we do.
This is nonsense, Susan. Is this some sort of prank?
Oh, not at all, Dr. Lesenfest. Not a prank. It's really happening. It's my grandmother that's making it happen.
I'm sorry, Susan. I just don't have the time for this, you know? I think you need to get your grandmother to see a psychiatrist.
Oh, please believe me. We both saw it, right, Charlie?
Yes. We were just walking down the street and it was really sudden. There was some, litter, and she just kind of flicked her mouth and it started swirling up into the air, and this went on for about 5 minutes. As we walked past all of those takeaway shops, a flick of the breath, and they were up. They went up, I promise you.
Well, I really, I don't see how I can help you, really. Oh, wait, Susan. Well, what's your grandmother's name? Where does she live?
Her name is Helen Doherty. She's retired, but she's such a special lady.
Helen Doherty? No, I've never heard of her.
I'm sorry. Please excuse me. Good morning. Did you say Helen Doherty?
Yes, she's my grandmother.
I think I may have met her. A very interesting lady. And she said her granddaughter studies here.
Oh, yes, that's me. I'm Susie.
Ah, I'm very pleased to meet you, Susie. How can I help you?
Okay, I'll leave this with you, Dr. Nikolaev.
Oh, you are Dr. Nikolaev, the mathematician.
You can deal with it.
She met you in the park. Oh, that's wonderful.
Ah, in the park. We had the most interesting conversation. So, Susie, and you are?
Oh, this is my friend Charlie.
Good, Charlie. Come with me then. We will have coffee and you will tell me what is problem with Helen Doherty, your grandma. Is she well?
We believe she's doing something amazing. Not sure exactly what as yet, but we can't get anyone to pay attention. Help spread the word. You know how it is when someone starts doing extraordinary things and they need other people to join them.
So you think of starting a movement?
Well, sort of.
Hell yeah.
But if you are not sure how she does it, or why...
Oh, the why is clear enough. It's to rid the earth of all the pollution. But at the moment she's just blowing what she can into the sky.
Yes, I have seen it myself. Very impressive.
But you can see that it's obviously too much for one person. She needs help.
She thinks if she can do it, there must be others who can do it too. If we could get some publicity, maybe they would come out of the woodwork and something really good might come out
Well, I
of it.
think she's doing something good already.
Well, yes, of course, but something big. Bigger.
But I believe that first you need to understand how she is doing it, no? How does she have this breath capacity to do such an extraordinary thing?
Superpower.
And also, where is it going? Is that not important? All that rubbish just doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere.
Oh, of course, you're right.
So we need some access to telescopes to see where it goes after it leaves the atmosphere and to calculate how much is actually being moved.
And is it ever going to be enough? Because there's just more and more rubbish around all the time, going to landfill, being dumped in the rivers and the sea.
Yes, we need some serious calculations. We need facts.
Yes.
Well, I may be able to help. I have friends, colleagues in the Department of Astrophysics, and I'm sure they will know the cosmology people. Perhaps we can get a team together.
Yes, but will they believe us?
All they have to do is look out of the window, Susan. Every time your gran takes a breath, practically.
I think we have enough to get them curious. And that is all a scientist needs to take interest. Let's finish our drinks and see what we can come up with.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes, thanks, Professor Nicol...
You may call me Misha.
Thanks,
Good evening. Here is the 6 o'clock news. Reports are coming in of a strange phenomenon which seems to involve piles of litter being lifted up off the ground and shot into outer space. Eyewitnesses report seeing empty cans, used takeaway food boxes, and plastic bags apparently rising up of their own volition, collecting into a whirlwind or tornado-like structure, and then flying up into the sky at great speed. Josie Harkins from the South West London Weekly News has this report.
Thank you, Martin. Yes, these strange events are being recorded all over South West London. As you can see from this video, taken earlier today by a resident in Wimbledon, the litter seems to be acting independently, with no visible assistance. Also, according to the Weather Bureau, there were no strong winds at the time. I spoke to Chief Meteorologist Dr. Callum Schrodinger earlier today. Can you explain how this is happening, Dr. Schrodinger?
Well, we are absolutely stumped here, Joe. As far as we can make out from all the instrumentation we have on the ground, and from satellite observations, there was very little air movement in the area at the time these events were reported. Even if there were some local disturbances in the air, perhaps from heavy traffic passing by, for instance, it still doesn't account for the acceleration of the piles of rubbish once it had accumulated above the heads of the people watching.
Well, yes, it looks as if it's being shot out of a cannon.
Directly upwards. I have no explanation for this at this time. Of course, we are working on understanding it as fast as we can, so I encourage your listeners to send in their observations immediately. The more information we have, the sooner we can understand what's going on.
You mean you'll know how to stop it?
Oh no, I wouldn't say that.
Thank you, Dr. Schrodinger. And there you are, Martin. Although I'm not sure we want it to stop. If this is going to help to clean up our streets, surely it's a good thing.
Thank you, Joe. I'll need to get back to you on that. In the meantime, here is the news from Parliament.
Janie? Janie, sweetheart?
Yes, what is it?
Did you hear the news just now?
What was that?
The news. Did you hear
On
it?
the TV?
Yes. Did you hear it? They're talking about your mother.
What? No. Already? I wonder if that's Susie's doing. What did they say?
Well, they don't know it's her, but it's definitely this blowing away the rubbish thing.
On the
news, the BBC.
Yes, the actual BBC News. They had a reporter interviewing someone from the Weather Bureau explaining it can't be the wind that's doing it.
Why not?
Because there was no wind.
There was no wind.
No. So it has to be something else. And it won't be long before they figure it out.
How so?
Once they get the boffins involved, they'll measure where it's coming from. They'll narrow it down to the area where your mother lives. Once the press gets onto it, it won't take them long to figure it out.
Well, and then what? Isn't this a good thing? Don't we want people to know it's her?
I wouldn't have thought so. You know what the press can be like. And what was that about Susie? Has she been talking to the press?
No, not as far as I know. But she did say we need to spread the word.
What? Why on earth would she want to do that? They will make her life a misery. Camp on her doorstep, accuse her of witchcraft.
No, they won't. They wouldn't. She's doing something wonderful. Why would they do that?
Because doing good things doesn't sell newspapers. They'll make her out to be something weird. Janie, call your daughter and tell her to stop.
You call your daughter. You tell her to stop.
Did you put her up to it in the first place?
No, not at all. I just mentioned that Mom couldn't possibly clean up the whole planet on her own.
Right. Well, you're right. She can't. But she won't be able to do anything if she's hounded by the paparazzi day and night. We've got to find a way to protect her till we can figure out what's going on.
She'll need a disguise.
A what?
A disguise, so she can't be recognised. Oh dear, and I thought those superhero disguise tropes were all so silly.
And they are. But in this instance, absolutely necessary. Right, then. You call your mother. I'll get hold of Susie. Team Helen, we're on the case.
Hello? Hello? What? Who is it? Mom? Are you all right?
What? Janie, what do you want about? It's the middle of the night.
No, it isn't, Mom. It's 9:30 in the morning.
Oh, all right, then I was having a lie-in. What's wrong with that?
Oh, nothing. Not to worry. So, are you okay?
How should I know? I haven't woken up yet.
Well,
I won't be until I've had my coffee and my toast, so go away. Call back in an hour or so.
But, Mom...
No but me, no buts. Go away.
Dear. Right, then. I'm coming over whether you like it or not.
Well, I don't understand what you're so worried about. It's just some daft thing blowing rubbish up into the sky. I know it's weird, but it doesn't seem to be doing any harm.
But that's just it, Mom. We don't know what effect it's having, and the thing is, people are noticing. It's even been on the news.
What? On the actual news? On the BBC?
Yes, and they'll be looking for you.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's fantastic.
No, Mom, it's not. It's really not. It's dangerous.
Oh, don't talk rubbish. What's the harm? Do they want to interview me? What will I say? What will I wear? Oh, I'll be on the telly.
Mom, stop. You must listen to me.
Why? What's your problem, Janie? Don't you want me to clean up the planet? I've got the power. I have to use it. I've got the power.
Mom, please sit down. This is important. Please, Mom, sit down now.
Oh, right. Yes, ma'am. Anything you say, ma'am.
Now listen carefully, please.
You will say this only once.
Mom, this is serious.
Okay, go on. I'm listening.
I really hope you are. Okay? Are you listening now?
Sure. Got my listening ears on. Okay?
Good. Now, the thing is, everyone wants to know who is blowing the litter up into the sky. That means reporters. Lots of them. Lots and lots and lots of them.
Okay. Lots of reporters. I can do that.
No, Mom, you can't, and you mustn't. They mustn't know who you are. They will hound you to death.
What?
I'm not joking, Mum. They will mock you. They will try to prove that you're a fraud. They will make your life a misery.
Why? Why would they do that? I'm doing something good. What's wrong with
But
that?
don't you see, Mum? Reporters don't want good news. They only want the bad stuff. And if it doesn't exist, they will turn the good stuff into bad stuff.
Why are you talking baby talk at me?
Because you're behaving like a small child.
Am I? I didn't know I still could.
I'm sorry, Mum, but we have to do something.
Well, I'm not going to stop doing the good stuff.
I don't want you to stop.
No? But you said...
I don't want people to know that it's you.
Well, now you're being weird.
Good, I think.
So what? Do you want me to go around with underpants over my trousers and a cape?
Not exactly.
What?
But you do need some kind of a disguise and some kind of assistance to keep you safe.
Bodyguard? Oh, yes, I want one of those. Kevin Costner available?
No, but we are.
Who's we? You? Jonathan?
And Susie and Charlie, yes. You don't go out alone, and you always wear a disguise.
Oh, but you'll all have to wear disguises too. Uh-huh. Did you think of that, did you?
We're working on it. So here's what we're thinking. You stay at home till Susie and I have got the materials, and then...
Hey, kid, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah? What?
Do you live around here?
Yeah? What of it?
Have you seen stuff flying up into the sky?
Oh, you mean our paper and stuff? Oh, yeah. Maybe.
So have you seen who's doing it?
Huh? Some old woman.
Do you know where she lives?
Nah, Dodie's from around here. She talks funny.
Talks funny? How?
I don't know. She just sounds funny, foreign. You know, you're not from around here. See ya.
Right.
Mum said you have to stay in until we've got the costumes sorted.
I know, and I understand that. But honestly, I'm going to go completely crackers if I can't get some fresh air. Just around the block, Susie, darling. Look, I'll wear the blonde wig.
But Gran...
See? How do I look? And how about I wear your jacket? It's quite warm. You don't need it, do you? No. And you do look very different.
Good different or stupid?
Stupid is good, no?
Oh, no. Stupid would call attention to you. You just look so different. It's really quite pretty. But wear my sunglasses too, okay? And just one block.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did Misha have to say? Has he done lots of calculations? What?
Oh, I think so, but the thing is, he got on to his friends in the cosmology department.
Cosmology? Isn't that a bit far out? Surely our litter isn't heading out of the galaxy, is it?
No, they're not looking that far, Gran. It's just that some of them have their own fancy telescopes. They're going to take a look this weekend, and I think they're going down to Kew.
The gardens?
Yes, Kew Gardens.
But why on earth? Why not head for the hills? Wouldn't that give them a better view?
Well, it was just an idea one of them had, because I told her about the flowers practically talking to Mum, and she has a contact down there, so she thought she'd, well, I don't know, see if there was any light to be shed on it.
And was there?
I don't know, haven't heard yet.
Oh, just look at that rubbish. Takeaway boxes. Why can't they take them to the nearest bin?
No, Gran! Don't you dare! It's not safe yet.
But there's nobody around.
People have windows, Gran.
Who are you barking at? I'm allowed to walk here, you know.
Are you talking to dogs now, Gran?
You always talk to dogs. Doesn't everybody?
No, Gran, I don't think so.
Well, they should. They might learn something.
Oh, you shush. Hush your mouth. What on earth? Oh, Gran. Oh, look. Those boxes are you doing that?
No, not me. It must be the dog.
What?
No, it can't be.
Oh, shit, it is. It's the dog doing it.
You must have infected it
It's
somehow.
not an infection, it's a superpower.
Wow, I can do that too.
Hey, maybe I can spread it to all dogs.
Well, maybe you can, but should you?
Would they know what they're doing? Could they control it? They might just spread the litter around even more.
Nope, look, it's going straight up, just as if I did it myself. Good dog. Oh, you're a good dog. Yes, you are. Good dog. What's your name? Oh, can you read that, Susie? It's too small.
Let me see. Freddie. His name is Freddie. Good boy, Freddie.
Oh, there he goes. Well, come on, Grana. We'd better get back and report in to the rest of the team. Oh, so much to think about.
Excuse me. Hello. I'm Josie Harkins from the BBC. I wonder if you'd mind if I ask you a question or two.
Not another one. What there? What you want to know?
Well, it's about all this litter that's blowing up into the sky. I don't suppose you've seen it, have you?
Oh, yeah. Like I told that French geezer. It just floats up above the ass, clear up in the sky, you know, and then it shoots up into space.
And can you tell me where you think it's coming from?
From the ground. It's just litter that's lying around, isn't it?
Well, yes, but what direction? I mean, where were you when you saw it? Was it close?
Nah. It was over near the RI's flats on Stratford Road.
Thank you very much.
Hey, I can tell you more. That's only half the story. Oh, well, suit yourself, bloomin' reporters.
Hello?
Yes, who is it?
Hello, it's
Oh,
Josie.
Oh, that's Josie.
Yes.
Do you know someone called Josie?
I know I'm late. Well,
Yeah, all right, we'll get to it, will you? What are you doing?
well, I've
You're
been...
really busy over here looking after this thing.
Look, I'm doing the research, all right?
Yeah, well, we found out lots
But,
of
well, I have found out it's somewhere near Strathfibre Road in Morden. Yes, well, I've spoken to someone who says it's an old woman who sounds funny. So it could be...
Sounds funny.
Well, just because she does...
Well, it's just as well, isn't it?
No. Just because she sounds funny doesn't...
Oh, you mean sounds foreign, yeah. So she's probably one of those illegal immigrants. Yeah, that's probably what it is. Oh, yeah, well, there's going to be a good story in that.
It shouldn't have to be a refugee.
Oh, yeah, it's a great story.
Really? Oh, all right. Whatever.
Yeah, no, you've got to be wrong.
Yes.
If she's got a foreign accent, she'll be a refugee. Otherwise, what's all the secrecy about?
Okay. So, well, anyway, we've got 3 sightings now. All right. And so get the boys in the back room.
Of course, that's what it's going to be.
I don't
Yes,
know.
that's really,
Triangulate or whatever it is they do with maybe 3 of something. Let me know. Okay.
Come on, get on with it. You got anything else for us?
Oh, and Roger, you might want to check this out. There's a French guy going round asking a lot of questions.
What sort of questions?
Same sort of questions that I'm asking.
What do you mean
Yes.
questions? What do you mean a French guy?
Well, that's all I know.
Same sort of questions that you're asking, really? Why would he be doing
He's
that?
quite tall and charming. Well, that's all I've heard so
well, that's
far.
not very good, isn't it? We need to find out more. Yeah, we need lots more than that. Come on, get with the program, Josie.
Unconfirmed reports are coming in of strange happenings in Kew Gardens yesterday. A group of scientists investigating the flying litter phenomenon that we've been following visited the gardens with telescopes. Is that right, Josie?
Ah, yes, Martin. As far as we can make out, it was a group from the London School of Economics who travelled down to Kew with binoculars and telescopes, hoping to track some of the flying litter to see where it's going.
That seems a bit odd, doesn't it? Kew Gardens?
Indeed it does. But apparently, according to my sources, they believe this phenomenon has something to do with the effect it is having on plant
But they
health.
wouldn't need telescopes to establish that, would they?
Well, you wouldn't think so, would you? But that's not the strangest part, Martin. Apparently, as they set up their telescopes in a raised area in the gardens, the surrounding trees began to bow to
What?
them.
Did I hear that correctly? Did you say the trees bowed to the scientists? Is this line working okay?
Yes, Martin, that's exactly right, so I'm told. It does sound unbelievable,
And what do the
doesn't it?
scientists have to say about it?
I'm afraid I haven't been able to contact them as yet. The university has refused to comment, so all I can say is stay tuned.
Yes, indeed. Fascinating stuff. Now over to Henry James for the weather.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, Mrs. D. It's Renee. Oh, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you, Renee. How are you? Are you at school? Your new school?
Oh, yeah. But I just wanted to give you a ring and see how you're doing.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you. I'm doing just fine, thank you. Are you...
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Well, it's like, I've been hearing all about this. All this things about the litter flying up in the air and that in London. And Auntie Jean says it's quite near where she lives. So that means that means it's quite near where you live. So I just wanted to check that you're all right.
Oh, well, I'm absolutely fine, thanks, Renee. Yep, not a problem. Streets are nice and clean. That makes a change.
You sure you don't know anything about it? I mean...
What do you mean, Renee? Come on, spit it out.
Well... it's not anything to do with those... that woman and the child that were looking for you. The ones that said that you were the chosen one.
Oh, why would you think that?
Well, I just thought maybe...
come on, Renee, don't be daft.
Well, it does seem quite like a coincidence, Like, you get told you're the chosen one, and the next minute, all around you, where you live, is getting cleaned up. Are you sure? You'd tell me, wouldn't you?
Oh, of course I would, Renee.
Oh, no, you wouldn't. No. Oh, no, you wouldn't. No. Oh, well. I suppose I can keep a secret.
Well, that's good. It's always good to be able to keep a secret.
Yeah. Hey, did you hear? Did you hear that there are dogs doing it now? Yeah, dogs. It's on YouTube. They started to notice it around St Albans, and then, well, it kind of started to spread north. So, we might even get it in Edinburgh.
Well, that'd be good after all that garbage strike you had there.
Yeah. So, dogs, eh? Wonder what else? What other kind of animals will start doing it? And another thing, what happens? What happens to all when it gets up there? Clogging up space and stuff.
Now that's a jolly good question, isn't it?
So you know the answer?
No, but are you sure you can keep a secret?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I just might know someone who does. Okay if I get back to you on that?
Oh, you bet.
Patience, Renee. That's the name of the game. Reckon you can handle it?
You can count on me, Mrs. D.
Good man.
Hi there, Susie here. Please leave a message after the beep. Thank you.
Hello. Susie, it's Misha here, Misha Nikolaev. I just want to bring you up to date with what we've been doing. I've managed to pull together a team here, and we've been making some inquiries and doing some research into your grandmother's situation. And it seems to be much more complicated than we first assumed it to be. So, Susie, we know that she is able to lift the litter from the streets and send it up into the upper atmosphere, where it is accumulating into bundles, shall we say, bundles. And now, of course, we have stray dogs doing it as well, And it's all floating around the Earth in orbit. But the interesting thing is that instead of a decaying orbit, which is what you would normally expect, it seems to be an expanding orbit. So if it keeps going like this, it will eventually move out into space and escape the Earth's gravitational field. The momentum will release it, so to speak. And we don't know at this stage in what direction. Now, Susie, why I say it is more complicated is because we, my colleagues and I, we have realized there is something more that is going on. The plot thickens, my dear. And it is something to do with the flora, the plant life of the earth. You probably heard about our trip to Kew Gardens with the telescopes, which were really, excuse me, it was really a cover because what we really wanted to see was the effect, if any, on the plant life of our investigations. And we observed the astonishing event of the large oak and beech tree stand near where we set up our telescopes. They seemed to bend in our direction, quite gently, not threatening at all, but it was surprisingly uniform, a most extraordinary thing to see. And they straightened again. But the thing is, it happened 3 times. First of all, as I moved into the open meadow. And then when my colleague, Josh Edelstein, now he's a biology specialist, when he joined me a few minutes later, the trees bowed again. And the 3rd time was when my dear friend Marta Polensky joined us about 10 minutes later. Now she works at the Institute of Earth Science Studies. And Susie, those trees bowed again, and it was very, very low. And each time the trees behaved in this uniform manner, which seems to echo what you were telling me about the flowers, that they were bowing or waving to your mother when she was collecting a bouquet for your grandmother from her garden. So it seems that there is definitely something to do with the planet, the Earth, maybe the soil, I don't know. Maybe it's Gaia, you know, the story of Gaia, Mother Earth, from the old Greek stories. Mother Earth was called Gaia. Have you heard that story? Or perhaps I'm thinking of Ceres. She was the goddess of the harvest of plants. Her daughter, Proserpina, was kidnapped by the god of the underworld. But Ceres insisted her daughter must come back to Earth for half of the year. And so we have autumn, when she goes to the underworld, and spring, when she returns to us. Anyway, that is just a fanciful thought, not that passed through my head, nothing to do with anything. So we are trying to be as discreet as possible as we can to shield your mother and, of course, your grandmother from any unnecessary publicity. Okay then, Susie. Call me when you get this message, and if I have any more news for you, of course I will tell you then. And please, give my regards to your grandmother. Goodbye for now. This is Misha, signing out.
Sit here, Mom. I'll get the coffees and we can take them to the park. Lovely idea.
Please, young lady, here is my card. You can message me if you see anything, or if you hear anything at all. I'd be most grateful anytime. Believe me. Au revoir.
Well, that was odd. What was? Was he trying to chat you up? Not at all. At least I don't think so. He was asking about the litter thing. You know, the litter that magically floats up into the sky and disappears. Oh, yes, I've heard about it. Must be some sort of trick. Or fake news, probably. I haven't seen it, have you? Yes, but it seemed to be a group of stray dogs stirring it up. Oh, really? So, just disturbing it on the ground a bit? Oh, no, it actually gathered up into a huge pile above the ground, and then it streamed up, straight up into the sky. Goodness. Oh, there's Susie. Susie, over here. Hi, Gran. Where's Mom? She's getting takeaway coffees. Do you want something?
Why's your hat pulled down over your eyes? How do you see where you're going?
Oh, I can see all right. I just didn't want to be seen.
By whom?
Did you see that tall man who just walked away a minute ago?
Yes, I think he was chatting up the lovely Ilsa.
Who's Ilsa?
The new wait staff. He gave her his card. Why, do you know him?
He looked awfully like one of my professors, Dr. Leponcer. And I got this distinct impression that he was up to something. I'll just have a word with her. Is that Ilsa over there?
Yes, it is. Don't be long.
They'll bring them out for us. Is Susie here yet?
Over there, talking to Ilsa.
Oh, but I've already ordered for her.
Oh, no, she's just checking something.
What? What?
Ask yourself.
We have to leave. Now.
But the coffees aren't ready.
I'll bring them. Mom, take Gran home straight away.
But why?
Because there's something really strange going on. Oh, you mean more strange than my mother developing a superpower and passing it on to a pack of stray dogs?
Yes. My old political science professor, the one who refused to believe me when Charlie and I asked if he could help us figure out what was happening with Gran's superpower. He's trying to track her down on his own without asking me. I don't like it. Oh, there you are, Helen.
Indeed I am, Jennifer. You okay? Coming in for a bit?
Oh, I just wanted to check that you're all right.
Sure I am.
No, it's just that I haven't seen you out and about for a while.
Hey, come on in. I've just boiled the kettle.
Are you sure? I don't want to bother you.
No bother at all. I'm so grateful that you would check up on me. That's very kind. Is Harry okay? And your Gran, Nana?
Oh, yeah. All fine across the corridor.
Tea? Just milk?
That's right. Thanks so much. So, you haven't been unwell? Just busy, I guess.
You could say that.
Oh, well, that's all right then. Have you been following the news?
What news is that? Not politics, surely. Please, let's not go there.
Oh, no. Nothing we can do about it, is there? No, I mean all this flying litter thing. Have you seen it happening?
Oh, I think I might have seen something out of the window the other day. Have you?
Yes, but not close up. But I was watching it on the news last night. It's quite exciting, isn't it?
Yes.
And all the reporters hanging around, they seem to think it all started somewhere near here.
What? Near this building?
Well, maybe not right here, but within a few blocks anyway. At least that's where they think it started. But it's spreading up the country now. Yorkshire, the last I heard.
Wow. So what do the pundits think?
Well, we just watched the Channel 4 news and they're pretty sceptical about it all. They seem to think it's some sort of mass hysteria.
Really? People just imagining it?
That's what one of them said. But then they showed all the clips on TikTok and Insta, what's his name. They have to be pretty good at faking it when there's so many, wouldn't they?
Oh, I don't know about that. It's too easy to do too much fakery with apps and things these days. It wouldn't surprise me.
Ah, but then...
What? Then what?
Well, what about the lack of litter on the streets? Somebody or something is doing that, clearing it up. Haven't you noticed it yourself?
Well, actually, I haven't been out much lately, but when I did notice that. It makes such a change. Whoever is doing it, I'm not complaining.
Me neither. I don't hear anyone actually complaining about it. Most people think it's wonderful. But one of the experts on the telly was saying they think it's some kind of ransom plot.
Really? What, pay up, or I'll come and clean up your neighbourhood too?
Oh, no, they were saying sooner or later, when there's so much of it sitting up in the sky, whoever is doing it will threaten to drop it all down again unless the country pays up.
Good grief. The way some people's minds work.
Yes. You only think of something like that if it's the kind of thing you would do yourself.
You're a wise woman, Jennifer.
Oh, not me. It was Nana who suggested that.
And I agree.
Me too. So we are 3 wise women.
If only we ruled the world,
That's what Harry said.
Well, I'm sure you've all been... Well, we're all wondering what's going on with the strange happenings of litter being sent skywards instead of over to landfill. And I have on the line Professor Larry Steinbeck from the Atlanta Institute for Digitized Garbage Disposal. Now, Professor Steinbeck.
Oh, please. Larry,
thank you. I wonder if you can tell us what are the principles behind disposing of garbage litter by sending it out into space?
Well, this is to be perfectly honest with you, Martin. This is something that we haven't dealt with before. We are currently investigating the possibilities of trapping garbage, fitting all disposable packaging with digitized chips so that they can be traced to where they were made and what they were used to dispose of, but they can also, well, we're working on a form of magnetized collection instruments which can self-drive themselves along our streets and our sidewalks, or pavements, as you call them in England, I believe, and collecting litter and bundling it up into parcels, which can then be gathered at a collection point, bundled into containers, and then shipped to a disposal rocket center and sent into space by satellites.
Well, yes. But then, what happens to them once they get into space? Do they release the garbage and just let it float off?
No. It'll stay up there forever in those cartridges so that there's no danger that it'll form any obstruction to space travel, polluting or being even caught back in the Earth's gravity and brought down again.
You say no danger of that?
No. Well, that's the plan. Of course, they haven't built it yet.
Oh, they haven't. So this litter that's floating up into space all over London, that's not part of this project?
Well, no, not at all. We've no idea what's going on over there. No, this is simply an idea that's being experimented with at the moment that people are working on to use AI, to help manage with the problems of litter.
Well, wouldn't it be saving an awful lot of trouble if people just didn't drop litter? Wouldn't that be a simpler solution?
Oh, well, you know what we're like. We humans, we just like to take the easy way out. And I guess we've always been like that and always will be. So we've just got to keep coming up with ways of tidying up after ourselves.
Well, that's a depressing thought. Thank you very much, Dr. Larry Steinbeck of the Atlanta Institute for Digitized Garbage Disposal.
Oh, not at all.
And that's all we have time for tonight. Oh, just a moment. I've just been handed a piece of breaking news. Oh, my goodness. A British Airways flight on its way to Heathrow has narrowly avoided collision with some of the flying litter. Police have been notified, and they are presently searching for the source of the litter, believed to be south of the River Thames near St Helier Hospital. And now, it's time for the news where you are.
Oh, come on, Gran, please pick up. Gran.
Hello, thanks for calling Helen Doherty. Sorry I can't take your call at the moment. Please leave your name and a brief message after the beep.
Gran, this is important. It's Susie. Gran, you have to stop. It's too dangerous. Gran, are you there? Gran, please stop. Gran, you have to stop. And when are you going to tell me where we're going, hey? Where are you taking me?
Somewhere safe. Don't worry about it. You'll like it.
How do you know?
Lots of trees for you to talk to.
Who told you I talk to trees?
Everyone knows you talk to trees, Helen.
But they don't listen to me.
I don't know about that. From what I'm hearing, they certainly do listen to you.
They might be listening, but they're not answering back.
Well, that might be a good thing.
True. I'd freak out if they did start answering back. That's actually why I love them so much. They just listen. They don't have opinions. They just carry on being, growing and being.
Inspiring.
Yes, that too. Breathing in.
What? What was that?
Inspiring, breathing in. Respiration, continuing to breathe. Expire, breathe out. Inspire, breathe in.
Oh, of course, I never got that connection before. Good on you.
Yes, my darling daughter Sophie.
Mama, where are you? What is that noise?
I'm on the number 86 bus in Liverpool, just turning into Smithtown Road.
Why on earth? Oh no, don't tell me. I don't want to know.
Of course I'm on Earth. Where did you think I would be?
Look, I don't know and I don't care. Just let me change back to my normal self, please, Mama. This small girl child disguise is doing my head in.
Dear me, you sound more English all the time. The sooner we can get back to Greece, the better. There you are.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, that is such a relief. And you can drop the fake Greek accent too.
But I am Greek.
Yes, and so am I. So why aren't we speaking in Greek to each other?
I like English, especially when I'm in England.
Then make like an English person.
Oh, you are such a spoiled sport. Now, why are you calling me? Have you found out what your husband is up to yet?
Yes, I have. He's pretending to be a French professor of politics. And he's going around London following in our tracks, trying to find out what we are doing.
Is he having any luck?
Oh, yes. In spite of having the worst French accent, even worse than our Greek ones, he seems to have figured it out. And he wants to help us.
Oh, really? You believe that? Why would he want to help us? He's never shown any interest in the health of the planet before.
No, but then he's never found himself on a planet so close to mass extinction before.
I see. And what does he think he can do to help? Perhaps he'd just like to move humanity down to the underworld. Holus bolus. Then we could get on with cleaning up their mess.
Oh, so you're resorting to Latin now?
If I want to, I shall. Carpe diem, per ardua ad astra.
Oh, now you're just being silly, Mama.
I know, it must be Liverpool that's doing it to me.
All right, I'll bite. What are you doing in Liverpool? Have you found Helen yet?
Oh, she's not here. But I'll tell you who is.
Nearly there.
Ah, it is rather lovely. How long do you think I'll need to stay here?
Until we can figure out what's going on, until we can find a way to make it all work for you.
I suppose so.
I'm sorry, Helen. I understand how hard this must be for you. You really want to use this amazing talent you have.
Excuse me, it's not a talent. It's a superpower.
I agree.
Yes, I know. Like all great power, it has to be handled with great care. And the dogs?
Yes, the dogs. That's what I find so weird.
You mean you don't find me weird?
Oh, of course, you're the queen of weird. But the dogs...
The dogs seem to be able to control it better than I can. They send it up in delicate, slow-moving streams. Yes, totally, absurdly weird. How do they do that, eh? Oh, maybe that's it. Leave it to the dogs. Maybe that was my part in it. I was chosen to set the dogs of the world in action to clean up the planet.
Yeah, I don't buy it.
Why not?
Well, because cleaning up the litter doesn't actually solve the problem at all, as long as humans keep on littering.
Oh, I see what you mean. Humans will keep on littering because they'll think the dogs can just clean it up.
Exactly. And I can't believe that's the only reason you were chosen to have the superpower.
What if the whole idea is to use the clouds of litter to speed up global warming so that we get the message that we have to stop?
Thought. Not a nice one, but definitely a thought.
Yeah, but then Dio and Sephi, that woman and the child who brought me the message in the first place, they really didn't seem to be telling me that I was chosen to turn the earth into a living hell or a dying one. They kept saying, save the planet. So I must be doing something very wrong. Maybe we have to find a way to stop the dogs.
Here we are.
Oh, wow. Oh, that looks very nice indeed. I thought you said there were trees.
Well, there are. You just have to go for a bit of a walk to get close enough to talk to them. See? Over there.
How did you find it? Airbnb?
No, it belongs to Deji. You know him, he's my boss.
Of course. Lovely bloke. Does he know?
No. They just said you needed a break, asked if he knew a nice quiet place in the country, and he offered it for free, for as long as you need it.
Well, that is just wonderful. Please thank him for me.
I shall. Now let's get you unpacked. I reckon you might just come up with something when you've had time to chill out.
But, Mama, why would Artemis want to get involved in the first place?
Oh, she has her contacts, you know, among the feral dogs. And they were worried, so she dropped by and gave them some training. She wants this problem sorted just as much as any of us. And the mortals need all the help they can get, no?
Oh, I agree. But no matter how much we try to help, there are still those who do not accept that there is a problem.
I know. And that, my darling Persephone, is the problem.
Then are we just tormenting Helen, making her think she can change it all? That is what Heidi thinks.
Oh, no. Oh, this is not a cruel game. You know me better than that. We cannot change the mortals. They have to do that for themselves. We can only nudge them in the right direction, hopefully before it is too late. And Helen is helping us to do that.
Mama.
As for your beloved Hades, he is such a downer, always looking on the dark side of life. He's not helping. Tell him to give me a call. I'd like to give him a piece of my mind.
No, Mama. No, you mustn't do that.
Meantime, I'm going to try to avoid having any ideas at all in case they manifest and disaster ensues.
Oh, I think that's a bit dramatic, Mom.
Oh, and you don't think almost bringing down a jumbo jet is dramatic?
Well, it was terrifying, but it didn't happen. So let's not get it out of proportion.
Janie, you never cease to amaze me. All right, change of subject. How's the garden?
Oh, it's quite lovely. I do wish you could see it.
Well, that's excellent news.
Is there a garden where you are?
Oh, there's a bit of a border around the house. Lots of begonias, very pretty. Huge lawn, but no trees. Open fields further out. A broad vista, if you know what I mean.
Well, it sounds very restful. Are you getting out, walking at all?
Oh, yes, I cross over the field, wander into the wood at the far end. There's a dog who pops over the fence on the other side of the wood and walks with me.
Well, that's nice. Company. What about people?
Oh, I'm very careful. If I suspect people, I duck behind a large tree. It's so funny. The dog wanders off and scratches around a few trees away until they've gone, and then she comes back to me and we continue our walk. I just wish there were a few trees a bit closer, you know.
Well, how close do you want them? I can see trees in the yard behind you.
No, not close to the house.
Yes. There are branches right behind the window. Behind you, Mom.
What, Janie? What are you on about? Oh, my Lord. But that's impossible. Hang on. Good grief. How did that happen?
Look, I swear they weren't there yesterday, Janie. It was just lawn out there with daisies and buttercups.
Are you sure?
Am I sure? What am I, chopped liver?
Oh, and you've turned Jewish overnight as well?
Well, no, I just love that expression. And my mother's sister married a Jewish man, so it's all in the family.
Oh, well, I'm not sure that counts. But if it makes you happy, then trees make you happy. Maybe that's your new superpower, making yourself happy.
But I didn't ask for that.
Well, maybe you don't have to.
Didn't ask for anything. But how can I control it if I don't even know I'm doing it?
Mom, calm down.
I'm not calmed up.
Oh, yes, you are. I want you to listen to me. I've got something important to say to you.
All right, I'm calmed down. I'm calm. Down.
Good. Good. Now, here's what I think. You don't have a mean bone in your body, so if you want something, it's never intended to be hurtful.
Well, that doesn't mean people can't be hurt by it.
That tree behind the window, by the way, is now covered in blossom.
Really? Oh, yes, it is. Oh, wow. How extraordinary.
I'll say.
Oh.
What is it?
Oh, I just hope it doesn't burst into fruit. There's no way I could eat it all.
We don't know what kind of tree it is. Or do we? It does look awfully like apple blossom.
Well, there you go. I couldn't eat all those apples.
No, but you can make apple jelly. That would keep for quite a long time. Apple juice?
Cider.
Well...
Oh, don't be a spoil sport, Janie.
I didn't know you drank cider.
I don't, but I could always start.
Or not. And aren't we getting a bit ahead of ourselves?
Indeed we are. All right, thinking cap's on. For you and John, not me. I have to stop thinking. And I better see if there are any more trees suddenly appearing fully grown out there.
OK, I'll leave you to it. You can let me know if you've sprouted a whole orchard.
Or a vineyard.
Mom?
Oh, dear. I shouldn't have said that, should I? Well, yes, your dad got me this phone just to use in the family, or Team Helen, as he calls it.
Good idea. He's quite bright, really, isn't he?
Fine way to refer to your father. But yes, he is. And I'm living in luxury here, wherever here is.
Don't you know?
Well, I know I'm still in England, but
but you better not even guess out loud over the phone. Just in case, eh, Gran?
Oh, yes, I suppose so. Yes, of course. We must maintain location secrecy.
Good.
Imagine that the phone might be tapped. So what's this news you have for me?
Oh, yes, well, I dropped by the Cheese Shop Cafe yesterday afternoon, and Ilse said that Frenchman had been back, very insistent, asking some of the customers if they knew where you were.
And you still think this is your professor, Les Penseurs?
Oh, I'm sure it's him. And I tell you what, something interesting. Les Penseurs, that is the French version of, you'll never guess, the Greek god Hades, the lord of the underworld. Isn't that so odd? Anyway, he's definitely up to something. Otherwise, why did he pretend he had no interest in you when I asked him?
Sounds like a bit of a creep for sure.
What's she saying?
She says Les Penseurs sounds like a bit of a creep.
She's an excellent judge of character, your grandmother. Can I have a word?
Sure. Gran, here's Charlie. I think he has something to report. I got him to tail the bold professor to see what he could find out.
What? That sounds incredibly dangerous. Susie, you shouldn't have done that.
No, it's me, Mrs. Doherty. Or Charlie. And I was very careful. I'm sure he didn't know I was following him.
All right, so what happened?
Well, I saw who he was talking to, and then afterwards I went back to find them, in fact, and said something like, "Did you meet that amazing French guy? Isn't he interesting?" And they tell me everything he said.
Goodness, very inventive. So what was he saying?
He was asking if they knew you, if they knew where you lived, if they'd watched you blowing litter into the air, and how terribly dangerous it was.
Oh, Lord. And what did they say?
Mostly they thought he was a nutter, trying to spread a conspiracy theory. They don't know who you are, don't believe it's possible, it's a little old lady doing it. Well, anyway, they think it's a good idea, whoever's doing it.
Oh, great.
What do you mean?
Well, it obviously doesn't occur to them that it is dangerous, and the answer would be for them to stop dropping litter. Or at least to stop whoever is dropping it if it's not them personally.
No, I don't think it does. Should I have said something? Oh, I'm so sorry, Mrs. Doherty. I really should have asked you in the first place.
No, Charlie, no. You did the right thing. It's not your responsibility. And anyway, it wouldn't have been the right time or place. No, don't you worry about that.
What can we do now? We have to do something.
I know. It's a mess, isn't it? Polluting the sky, putting people's lives in danger, having to go into hiding of all things, and then you running around putting yourself in danger. What was I thinking? I am not a superhero. It's just lunacy.
No, it's not, Mrs. Doherty. It's the start of something good. Or we just haven't figured out how to manage it yet.
Well, I don't see the point in managing it, as you say. It's really quite silly as superhero talents go. Oh, God, why can't I have a mind-bending ray that makes people decide to be decent citizens who don't drop litter or burn fossil fuels?
Bad idea.
Or one that makes people who run prisons decide to rehabilitate the inmates rather than brutalise them? Or, how about make all the poppy seeds in the world completely ineffective unless they're being used for good medical reasons?
Well, how do you know you can't? Have you tried?
Not lately, Charlie. These days I'm a bit wary of unintended consequences.
Oh, yes, I see what you mean.
Yes, it's the old adage, be careful what you wish for.
Right. So perhaps if you have a jolly good think about it, you might come up with something that could be useful without being problematic.
Without having a downside, Charlie. There is no such thing.
Well, that's a bit depressing.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Now that I think about it, it's about being prepared, having a backup plan, always looking out for side effects. You know what the scientists and medical people are always telling us on the radio and on the labels. Yes, if we think it through first, thoroughly. You're right. Good thinking, Charlie. Well done.
What did I do?
You got me thinking, something I haven't been able to do for days, weeks. I know what to do next.
What is it?
Stop thinking, for one thing.
Ah.
Call a meeting of Team Helen. On Zoom, if necessary. We need the family, you, of course, Dr. Nikolaev and his team, maybe a dog trainer if we can find one.
Oh, yes, because the dogs are still doing their bit, aren't they?
Indeed they are. Okay, Charlie, great talking to you. No more stakeouts, no more tracking down mysterious French professors or any other such dangerous activities.
Okay.
Now you bring a notebook.
I don't.
Can you put Susie back on?
Sure, of course. Susan, here.
Yes, Gran? What's up?
Now, here's what I want you to do.
Yes, come. Oh, it's Yuzi. Now, what do you got for me?
I got that report for you, Chief.
About the gangs?
Yes, sir. There's definitely some kind of major gang warfare event going on.
We know that. Don't waste my time. What's behind it? Who started it?
Well, that's the thing. Nobody and everybody, apparently.
What? Stop talking rubbish. Have you been helping yourself to the seized drugs cupboard?
Oh, not at all, Chief. It's just they all blame each other. Nobody seems to know how it started.
But do they know why?
Oh, yeah? No doubt about that.
And?
It's the drugs.
What drugs?
Oh, the heroin that's been hitting the streets for the past week.
What about it?
It don't work.
What do you mean it don't work?
Just that, Chief. Nobody gets high.
So, it's been doctored, diluted, mixed with baby powder? What?
Not at all, Chief. It's pure heroin. Really good quality stuff. It just don't work.
So what does that mean? Lots of junkies going into withdrawal.
On the contrary, it seems to make them very comfortable and peaceful and helpful.
You have got to be joking. Junkies helpful? In what way? I can't wait to hear this.
Oh, seriously, Chief. They started volunteering at the homeless shelter, collecting for food banks. They even formed their own soccer team. It's like a
great big joke against you, you numbskull. What have you been smoking?
No, honestly, Chief. I swear to... Ow! Why do you do that? I'm just telling you what they're saying on the street.
Ah,
Stop wasting my time.
Oh, okay, Chief. Sorry, Chief.
Hey, wait a minute. Ain't you forgotten something?
Oh, yeah. Of course. Sorry, Chief. Almost forgot. There you are.
Good.
Enjoy.
Hey, hang on. Is this okay? It hasn't been diluted too, has it?
Oh, no. Coca plants haven't been affected at all.
Welcome to the interrogation. I'm Kirstine Walkman. Each week, one challenging news report, 3 expert witnesses, and hopefully a degree of understanding at the end. This week's challenging issue is the strange phenomenon of the allegedly non-addictive heroin. Our 3 experts are Dr. Joshua Edelstein, Director of Biological Sciences at Vandenberg University, Professor Marta Polensky from the Institute of Earth Studies, and in the studio we have Lord Peter Cage, lifelong specialist in fake news and disinformation and long-term friend of the program. Welcome to you all. Turning to you first, Dr. Edelstein. Now, can you give us some background to this bizarre, I could say unexpected turn of events? When and where was it first noticed?
Thank you, Kirstine. Well, it seems to have been first noticed, or at least first reported, on the streets of Los Angeles when shipments of heroin arrived into the hands of the drug barons, and the customers noticed that it didn't have the same effects that they were accustomed to. There was no rush at the beginning, and instead of becoming calm and sleepy, they became calm but with great energy. They started taking action, doing tasks that would normally been ignored, moving into the community and generally being helpful.
But what happened when it wore off?
Well, that's the thing, Kirstine. It doesn't seem to wear off. Those who had been addicted for years found that they were perfectly happy without it.
Right. So the drug no longer functions as an addictive opioid, but what about its use as a painkiller? Does that still
Well,
work?
it seems the morphine, which is derived from the same source plants, the poppy fields, still offers the pain relief as before, but it no longer seems to be addictive.
Yes, and we have an interview with a nurse in a hospice here in the UK.
It was extraordinary. The last batch of morphine that arrived a few days ago, it has a much longer lasting effect than we'd ever noticed before. We've been able to reduce the amount the patients are getting. They're just not asking for it as much. And they are more comfortable, more alert, much more able to enjoy their family visits right through to the end of their lives.
No,
Susan, are you listening to this?
What is it?
This is amazing. The poppies have changed.
What? What poppies? Changed to what?
Well, they've changed their nature.
Oh, don't be daft.
Oh, no, seriously, Susan, listen to what they're
Seems to be
saying.
concluding that one of the most effective treatments for pain relief known to humanity has lost its most unpleasant side effect, that of being highly addictive. How can that be, Dr. Edelstein?
The drugs that are derived from the seeds of the poppy plant have been of great benefit to mankind for thousands of years, in that it suppresses pain in the form of morphine, but has also been a great distractor of mankind in that it is highly addictive and has led to the most terrible trade amongst the criminal world, making lots of money by getting people addicted to it so that it can just keep selling more and destroy lives all over the world up till now.
Thank you, Dr. Edelstein. Marta Polensky from the Institute of Earth Studies. You've studied the genetic makeup of the poppy plant. Can you give us an explanation as to why it seems to have changed its ways so suddenly, if the rumours are correct? It's quite extraordinary, if these stories are true.
What is it that's happening to the plant is something we've never observed anywhere in the world before. Where the genetic structure of the plant seems to have switched certain aspects of itself off, so that it no longer has this effect on the human mind or body that was creating the craving for it, but instead it's acting not as the soporific, but it has a calming effect. So wonderful for people with anxiety, clinical anxiety, that is, not just people who are a bit anxious, but people who actually have the clinical syndrome, where anxiety is completely uncontrollable. This version of heroin seems to be able to switch the human recessive genes so that people who are used to having these terrible fits of anxiety are now more like the rest of us that just get a little anxious when there's something to be anxious about. Now, it's only been a couple of weeks, of course, that we've been able to observe this situation, so we have no idea if it's lasting effect or not. And we certainly have no explanation whatsoever as to how it comes so suddenly and worldwide. Yes, worldwide extraordinary.
Well, thank you very much. And now we've Lord Peter Cage, who's been studying fake news and conspiracy theories around the world for many years. What do you make of all this, Peter? Is it not fake news?
To be perfectly honest, Kirstine, I'm completely baffled, and I can't even imagine how to account for this because I've tried every which way to track down the sources, and they seem to be perfectly genuine. Highly reputable laboratories in medical institutes and universities and hospitals all around the world, and they're all reporting the same effect. This would be immensely difficult to fake and to have such an enormous widespread effect.
You don't think it could be any sort of, a form of mass hysteria?
Well, we have looked into that as well. And frankly, no, that just doesn't wash.
So, there we are. I'm Kirsten Walkman. I've been your interrogator. Until next time, mind how you go.
Well, can you believe that? Well, what does it mean?
Well, it means your grandmother is a saint, an angel.
Oh, come on, Charlie. She can't have had anything to do with this. She has left the safe house.
But don't you remember?
Remember what?
What she said on the phone.
When was this?
Well, when we phoned up to tell her about Professor Le Penseur, she was saying she wanted to have a useful superpower. Like, what was it again? Something about mind rays, or getting people to give up fossil fuels. And then she said change the poppy seeds so that they couldn't be used for anything but medical purposes. Yes, that was it. I told you at the Team Helen meeting. And that's what has happened.
Oh, but surely that's just a coincidence.
Oh, I don't think so, Susan. Oh, I bet that's her.
No, it's Mom. Yes, Mom. Susie, darling, did you just hear the interrogation? On the radio just now. Did you hear it?
Yes, we both did. What do you think?
It's Mum. It has to be. Remember what Misha said at the meeting. Her wishes only seem to take effect when it's something to do with nature. And Charlie mentioned what she'd said, on the phone, and then Misha said if he was right, there'd be some news soon to do with poppy plants, and there is. She did it. She made it work. No more drug addicts.
You think so?
Oh, I'm sure of it.
Charlie, Mum agrees with you. She reckons Gran has rid the world of drug addicts.
I don't think so.
But you just said...
Heroin is only one addictive drug, Susan. And another thing.
What?
Well, they make it synthetically. Chemists, in labs, it is still out there, along with all the other ones.
Oh, but it's a start.
You're absolutely right. It is a start.
That was season 6 of Am I Old Yet? The cast were as follows. Christopher McDougall played the roles of Renee, Charlie, Dr. Callum Schrodinger, the Street Kid, and Inspector Z. The roving reporter Josie Harkins was played by Francis Brodie Aldridge. Jonathan was played by John Warner. Ira Seidenstein played Dr. Misha Nikolaev and Larry Steinbeck. Ed Donnelly played Dr. Le Penser, Martin the newsreader, and Grandpa, a member of the public. Helen, Janie, Susie, Demeter, Sephi or Persephone, Ilsa and Chief Dilko were all played by me, Floyd Kennedy. The music, written and performed by John T LaBarbera from his album In the Labyrinth, is available on his website www.johntLaBarbera.com. Please take a moment to rate and review the program. And if you're able to support our production costs with a small donation, you can do so at buymeacoffee.com/amioldYet or by becoming a regular subscriber along with Scott, Roderick and Joanna at patreon.com/amioldYet. Much gratitude also to our patron, Margie Brown-Ash, who also provides me with emotional support and encouragement. Thanks for listening. Stay safe.